Back with more portal news on championship day. Let's start with the players who have found new places to play next season, starting with Soleil Williams, talented lefty guard. She was Ohio Girls Gatorade Player of the Year in 2023. She leaves Texas A&M to join Florida State, potentially to replace Nyah Harris. We don't know where she's going to end up yet, but if anybody can fill that huge hole that'll be left by Latson, it will be Soleil Williams. If you haven't seen her highlights, I recommend you do look them up. Nyah Harris, 6'2" junior forward. She made over 50% of her field goal attempts in all 3 seasons so far. She leaves Louisville to join the Tar Heels at UNC. Some fire player exclusive Jordans heading her way. Gracie Merkle, 6'6" sophomore center, transferred out of Penn State, stays in the Big Ten, and she's now headed to Maryland. Now, last season's transfer from Maryland, Kayleen Smikle, she was one of the best high-volume shooters from deep this season in the country, so they're going to form a nice inside-outside tandem. Should be a lot of room for a lot of open space for shots out there on the perimeter. Micaiah Miller, 5'7" junior guard, she leaves Wright State to join Jacksonville. Skylar Jones, one of 9 former Arizona players entering the portal, she signed with Louisville. The 6-foot sophomore guard. She went 49% from the field, 35% from 3. With senior guard Jada Curry from Louisville entering the WNBA draft, they'll definitely need somebody to replace that 3-point shooting, so you have Jones there to do that. Riley Turcoff, 5'9" sophomore guard from New Jersey. She leaves Wake Forest to head to Georgia. She was just under 4 points per game in her freshman season, then jumped to 12 last season in her sophomore year, so I salute the growth there. Let's see what she has in store next year for the Bulldogs. Demira Hines, she also leaves Wake Forest. She's a grad transfer that's headed to Clemson next year. Kayla Ivey, she leaves Boston College and is now signed to Rutgers. All right, Akal Akot, 6'1" sophomore forward, transfers out of UCF. She said, "Where them fans at?" She got her boots on the ground in Oklahoma. She's now officially an Oklahoma State cowgirl. Kiera Pemberton, 6'1" sophomore, very nice stat line as you can see here. She went 16.7% from 3 as a freshman, jumped up to 32.7% this season, so she's definitely putting in that work off the court. Transfers out of North Dakota State to the Baylor Bears. They've already signed Talia Scott out of Auburn, who puts up 20 points a game. Aaronette Vonleh was taking a leap into a top-notch pro prospect towards the end of the season, so I'm not sure if she returns next season or not, but if so, look for Baylor to make some serious noise there. Kia Miller, she leaves East Carolina, which is actually in North Carolina. I don't know what that's about, but she heads to Georgetown. She'll be joined by Destiny Agobada, 5'11" freshman guard, leaving West Virginia to join her in Georgetown. Josie Gilvin, formerly of Western Kentucky, she heads to regular Kentucky. I was really curious to see which guard would join that front court they have in that guard-friendly system under Kenny Brooks. Now we know. Josie was under 25% from 3 in her first 2 seasons, then took the leap to 41.3. Plus, she averages over 2 steals per game. She has a 6-foot frame that joins that backcourt that runs 6'5", 6'4", and 6'3". All 3 of them average over 10 points per game in that starting lineup. So, losing a player like Georgia Amore, that's never easy, but this team still won't be any fun to play against next season. At least that's what it's looking like. Lacey Steele from NC State. She heads to Wisconsin to play for the Badgers. They really need a restock after losing 6 players to the portal. Rachel Rose, she transfers out of Wofford to join Hines in the portal to Clemson. Carissa Richardson, she leaves Ole Miss, one of 6 players to leave Ole Miss. At least they had 6 players in one day join the portal. She's going to join their in-state rivals at Mississippi State. Now let's get to the players that have entered the portal. A few fresh entries, and I'll go through these really quick. Malaya Cowles, she transfers out of Wake Forest. Ziana Walker, she leaves Kansas State. McKinney Johnson, she's leaving Minnesota. Lizzie Williamson, she's headed out of NC State. Tiana Todd, she's transferring out of Boston College. Keziah Anderson, she's transferring out of Presbyterian. Tess Hill jumped back into the portal after a season at Stanford. Sanaya King, she's leaving Howard. No more Howard homecomings for her. Lily Hansford, she's transferring out of Iowa State. Astira Tahina, she transfers out of Washington State. Tanisha Brown, she's transferring out of Fairleigh Dickinson University. Emily Robinson, she transfers out of Oral Roberts. Jordan Mulemans, she leaves Butler along with Lily Carmody. They're both heading to the transfer portal this season. We have Medina Okot, she's transferring out of Mississippi State. And last but definitely not least, we have Elle Blatchford. She played for the Gardner-Webb running Bulldogs this past season. Bulldogs aren't notoriously fast runners, nor do they have much stamina, so I don't know why Gardner-Webb chose to go with that name. What I can tell you, though, is that the fastest Bulldog in America is named Bronco. Bronco lives in Michigan, so in my mind, L ends up with Michigan State. That's just how my mind works. Make sure you subscribe right now to find out if I'm right. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Till then, peace.